Alright, so this story is very much about how I am not a superhero. Because when superheroes are children, traumatic events happen to them and they grow up to be super. When I was little, I was very lucky. I didn't have very many traumatic events. I just had embarrassing shit happen to me. So when embarrassing shit happens to you when you're a kid, you don't grow up to be super. You grow up to be kind of this. Alright. The first example I will give you this evening, I'm 6 years old and I'm in grade 1. Now, grade 1 is a very trying time for 6-year-olds. You're getting used to the structure of the day, eating your lunch from plastic boxes or paper bags. I had Velcro shoes because fuck laces. So there's no theme, it doesn't matter, fuck laces. That's the takeaway for tonight, alright? Fuck laces. But when I was in grade 1, the teacher gave us an exam, and I can't remember what it was. It was probably like writing out the alphabet or something. But the teacher said, "Now students, no one will be allowed to go to the bathroom until everybody has finished the exam. So don't even ask." And of course, I immediately needed to go to the bathroom, worse than I'd ever needed to go to the bathroom in my life. And I think perhaps that's one of the most universal struggles, one of the most human struggles. We can all relate to trying desperately not to piss ourselves in a room full of people. Yeah? Well, I'm sad to say I lost that battle on that particular day. I should point out there is a distinct difference between a pants wetter and a bedwetter. You see, a bedwetter has the luxury of wetting themselves wrapped in an absorbent cocoon under a deeply solitary darkness, with access to a washing machine and a shower. Pants wetters like me, your hero for this story, had no such luxury. What I did have was a plastic chair that collected the urine around me, and as that puddle of shame and failure rose, I looked around the room at 26 other 6-year-olds and the one adult, and the teacher clocked me and came over and said, "Daniel, do you need to go to the bathroom?" And I flashed to what he had said about don't even ask, and I was like, this is a fucking trap. So I said, "No, I'm fine. Look, A, B, C, I'm cool, D, E, F, G." Obviously, he couldn't leave me like that, so he sent me to the bathroom. I cleaned myself up, and he met me downstairs near the bathroom, sat me down on these little picnic tables we had, and said, "Now, did you just forget to go to the bathroom? Or did that happen because of what I said?" And as I was formulating my answer, my eyes drifted up to the veranda where I saw the chair that I had just pissed on, and next to the pot racks, and I realized he probably felt kind of guilty about what happened. So I said, "Nah, I just forgot." Because I didn't want him to feel bad about me pissing my pants. Right? Flash forward a few years. I'm in grade 4. My class is getting ready to go to a liturgy. I went to a Catholic school, that's fine. I mean, it didn't really work. I'm a pretty staunch atheist, but that's fine, they can do whatever they want. We're getting ready to go to the liturgy, and I get this nausea in my gut. And I go up to the teacher and I say, "I'm feeling kind of sick. My mum's working in the tuck shop downstairs. Can I just go tell her that I'm feeling not very well?" And the teacher said, "I'll tell you what, just write it out, go to the liturgy, see how you feel. If you're still feeling sick, you can go tell her you're unwell, and then maybe you can go home." So I was like, "Alright, cool." Now, the way we had to get to the church was we'd line up out the front of our classroom. We're on the 2nd floor, so we had to line up on the veranda. And if I had been at the front of the line, things would have turned out better, but because I was ill, I was at the back of the line. As we walked across the veranda, down one flight of stairs, down the next flight of stairs, as the urge to be sick became overwhelming and I reached for the railing to be sick over, the last thing I saw was my entire grade 4 class spread out underneath me. and then I proceeded to vomit onto them, and not like a little bit of, I like proper projectile vomiting onto them. Flash forward a number of years, and this pukey pea pants that you see before you is being entrusted with the education of the youth of Australia. I'm 26 years old. I've been teaching for a number of years. I've taught in big city schools. I've taught in smaller rural schools. And I get given this Year 11 English class partway through the year that has a star pupil who's famed for his ability and willingness to commit violence on other students and his prolific drug use. Now he was legitimately named. His parents named him after a piece or a part of the machinery of a car. I won't use his real name, so we can just call him Hubcap for this evening. Now Hubcap, ironically, looked like a superhero, by which I mean he looked at least 35 years old. Full beard, tattoo, he also had the large biceps and the dead eyes of a full-time abattoir worker who just bolts cow after cow after cow 6 days a week. Now when I took over the English class, he had been suspended, so I didn't actually have to deal with him straight away. I got the class running beautifully. They were raising their hands, they were staying on track, all that kind of stuff. The day he came back, he decided he wanted to make a go of this school thing, finish out Year 11 and 12. So he sat right at the front, near my desk. And so I forget what I was doing, writing on the board or something. And there was a bit of chatter from behind, and I sort of said, "Oh, quiet down, thank you." And there was a bit more chatter. I said, "Quiet down, thank you." The third time, there was a bit of chatter behind. Hubcap stood up, turned around, flipped 3 desks over, and stared with his abattoir worker eyes into the eyes of every individual student and said, "Oi! I'm trying to fucking learn, you cunts." Now, I could have responded by yelling. Keep in mind, he was a literal giant and I'm a man made entirely of marshmallow. So instead, I fell back on my teacher training and I said, "Oh, Hubcap, that was a very positive message, expressed in a very negative way. So if you sit down, Hubcap, and apologise, we can continue with the learning. That's alright with you." And he fucking did. He sat down and he apologised. And here's the real takeaway. Fuck laces. No. Here's the real takeaway. Superheroes don't exist. Real heroes are people like Hubcap who can stand up and voice what they want and what they need. And that's important. But what's also important is turning up and listening. Thank you, that's my story.